it was getting to that point where I was either going to cut off my hair, relax my hair, or just keep it in protective styles. Hey guys, it's Ifeyinwa. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. If you're not, welcome back. In today's video, I'm going to be telling you guys all about my Microlocs. As you can tell, I'm very excited. If you're new, my name is Ifeyinwa and I live in London. I am a content creator and I create content on home, life, and style. So if any of that sounds good to you, make sure you stick around. So I have notes. I'm very organized, clearly. What are Microlocs? Should we start there for the people who do not know? So locks is a hairstyle where basically your hair is like interconnected into each other. They're commonly known as dreadlocks, but you know, there's nothing dreadful about locks, so they're called locks now. And there are different sizes of locks, ranging from the bigger ones to the teeny tiny ones, which are called Microlocs. I decided that I wanted to get Microlocs over 2 years ago, but I decided that I wanted to wait until my wedding before I got them. And that was because I had already envisioned the kind of hairstyle that I wanted to have at my wedding. And I knew that I wanted to just have that versatility of having loose hair. But the second my wedding was over, I wanted to have Microlocs installed. Well, if you're not new here, you'll know that my original wedding was set to take place on April 4th of 2020. And I literally had my first Microlocs appointment booked for April 7th. Anyway, here we are, November 2021. I was finally able to get my hairstyle. So let's rewind back to what the motivation was and what my why was. I went natural back in 2011, maybe 12. I'm not 100% sure, but I know that it's coming up to about 10 years, okay? I really went natural with the vision that when I did go natural, I would have this huge, long fro all the way down to my hips. And that just didn't happen for me. I tried all the different hair regimens that you see on YouTube. I booked appointments with hair specialists. I tried the back-to-back protective styling. I did so many things and my hair was growing, but I just wasn't retaining the length that I wanted to see. And I started to become really frustrated with that. I was just fed up of the every week, every other week wash routine, the detangling, all the steps that come with natural hair. And I found myself keeping my hair in back-to-back protective styles because I was tired of it. And I know some people get to this point in their natural hair journey where they even consider relaxing their hair again because they're just frustrated, and I totally get it. Relaxing my hair again was never really anything that I considered, but I had kind of resigned to the fact that maybe I'll be one of those people that always had their hair in braids. I don't know about you, but I just can't. Like, there's something about me just like having my hair out and about, and that was one of the reasons why I wanted to go natural in the first place. So how did I settle on Microlocs? I've always been a fan of locks. A few years ago, I actually had my first like set of faux locks installed, and yeah, I wouldn't recommend the way I did it because I actually ended up ripping out a chunk of my hair, but I just loved the way it looked on me. I started experimenting with crochet locks, and oh gosh, like that's always been my favorite style. But I knew that I didn't want to commit to traditional size locks. It just didn't seem as versatile. Like, after doing so much research, I stumbled upon the Sisterlocks community. I think it was either on Instagram or YouTube, maybe back in 2019, and I automatically fell in love with it. And then I told one of my friends that I wanted to do it, and she was like, I don't know. Then I started to like second guess myself, but me being me, like when I have something in my head, I'm doing it. I joined Facebook groups. I started to get quotes from people. Yo, as soon as this wedding is done, I'm going to get my Sisterlocks installed. Obviously, you know, Instagram/Facebook and their algorithm that everyone hates, but I love because it's come in clutch for me so many times. They started to recommend Microlocs to me. And I'm like, hold on, what's Microlocs? I thought Sisterlocks were like the only way to get that look. And then I see girls with Microlocs that have the exact same look. So I started to do more research into that. And then I found out that essentially Sisterlocks were just Microlocs but branded. They had branded the tool that they used to do it, the grid that they used to do it. If you want to install Sisterlocks, you have to basically be a Sisterlock technician, like you have to do their training. But other than that, they pretty much looked exactly the same for a fraction of the cost. So based on my hair length, I was being quoted about £700 upwards to have my Sisterlocks installed here. Whereas Microlocs I could have installed around the £500 mark. Those were the quotes that I was getting back in 2019, disclaimer. Obviously it was a lot of money. And then I started to think, maybe I should look into how much this would cost back home. And that's when I stumbled upon Any Braids. She was a Microlocs technician and she was training people in Nigeria on how to install Microlocs. I saw her work on Instagram. Back then she didn't have anywhere near as many followers as she has now. So she had a few posts, but not too many. I think I must have reached out to her, or maybe she had like her price list or something back then on her page, because I calculated that based on her prices it would cost me about 50,000 naira, which at the time was equivalent to just over £100. And I'm like, wow. But then I wasn't sure because I didn't know anyone that had used her personally. And obviously this is a hairstyle that's pretty much irreversible. If it doesn't go right, you're either combing out your locks for months and months, or you are cutting off your hair. So I decided to just follow her, and over the course of following her, she posted that she had done someone's hair that I actually knew in real life. This was a girl that I went to school with way back in the day. So I actually reached out to her just to be like, give me the lowdown. And after speaking to her, I felt a lot more confident about booking a consultation with Any Braids. I booked a consultation with her. It was perfect. Paid the deposit and we're good to go. My original appointment was scheduled for April 2020. If you don't know the story of this, I'm just gonna link the video in the cards. Obviously that didn't happen. I started installing crochet locks, my little mini twists that I did for the whole of like the first lockdown. And then the funny thing is, over the course of waiting, the community was growing. There were more videos popping up on YouTube, more people popping up on Instagram, more people that I know in real life getting them installed. Like now I know 3 more people in real life who have had Microlocs installed. One of them, mind you, was one of my friends that was not too keen initially when I first told her. Fast forward to November 2021, I was finally able to get a new appointment and have my locks installed by Any Braids. Before you get your locks installed, I went to someone and had the deep treatment done, my hair trimmed, my hair blow dried and trimmed. And I made sure that they washed my hair with a clarifying shampoo. And then after it was blow dried, they just braided it down into 2 braids, and it was really well stretched, and that was pretty much my hair preparation. As standard, Any Braids comes with 2 stylists on the day. You can pay extra for a 3rd. I decided to do that because I wanted it to be as quick of an install as possible. So if you imagine like installing my hair in the UK where maybe only one person would be doing my hair, where definitely only one person would be doing my hair, that would take anything from 20 hours and upwards. But with 3 stylists, obviously divide that time by 3. And that was another reason why I definitely wanted to have my hair installed back home in Nigeria. So anyway, the 3 stylists showed up in the morning, bright and early. They came uniform, they were very professional. The first thing they started doing is parting my hair, so they were doing the grid. I really didn't care too much about the grid, but the one thing I cared about was that my partings were straight, especially the center parting and like my side partings, which I don't know why, because I literally have not parted my hair since my hair's been installed. And then they measure the length of your hair in the front, the middle, and the back, and then they take an average of the length of your hair, and then based on that they calculate the price. These are her 2021 prices, and they had gone up in between when I originally booked in 2020 and 2021. So obviously reach out and find out for yourself if you're planning on using her. But at the time, the price for installation was 45,000 naira for small and 40,000 naira for medium for the first 5 inches. That's the base price, and then it's 5,000 naira for every additional inch. And this is for interlocking. She also does the twisting method, and that's a bit cheaper. I went with the small size, and the average length of my hair based on their calculations was 10.5 inches. And then there's an extra charge for a 3rd stylist. There's an additional charge as well if your hair is over 16 inches, which obviously didn't apply to me. So my total came to this amount, and then I had already paid I think a 20,000 naira deposit to confirm my date. So they just let me know what the total would be, and once I said I was happy with it, then we proceeded. And then they started working. I had 3 stylists like I mentioned. I think they were 2 in the back and 1 in the front, but the person in the front was the fastest, so maybe that was like a strategic way of how they did it. The funny thing that no one says throughout the process is like you feel a bit anxious. I remember the day before, or even 2 days before, telling my friends that I wasn't sure if I wanted to go ahead with it because this feels like such a huge commitment. I didn't think I would feel like that because I've been waiting for years to get my hair installed. But on the day I felt nervous, and after they did like the first few, I remember thinking, oh my god, like am I really doing this? I knew that I would regret not doing it more than I would regret doing it. I gave them a bit of a hard time as we were proceeding, and obviously you know that they were counting the sections, and I was worried that I wouldn't have enough locks because I gotten it into my head, you know, that I needed to have like 550 locks for whatever reason. And telling them, you know, like, look, this is not the right size, like it needs to be bigger. And they kept telling me like, no, it's fine, like it's absolutely fine, because my hair is naturally very fine. It's very dense and I have a lot of hair, but my hair strands themselves are very fine and very curly. And apparently that combination works against itself for length retention, because this means that my strands are very fragile. They explained to me like if they made my hair any smaller, the weight of the lock would be too much as it grows and it would break off. I appreciate that stuck to their guns, and they were right, because I ended up having 548 locks. Like when I tell you God has a sense of humor, I was fighting for 550. And my whole installation time took 7.5 hours. We took a break in between for lunch. All in all, it was a very pleasant experience. I was on my computer watching Real Housewives, like the holiday trip. After my installation, first thing I noticed was that my hair just looked really stretched. Obviously it was straight already before because I had it blow dried, but my locks were like really straight then, and they looked a lot fuller than I thought. I thought it was a cute hairstyle. I think I took 2 paracetamol after the appointment just to prevent any soreness or headaches, and I did experience that the day after, but the first day I felt absolutely fine. So yeah, my installation process was really pleasant and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Cut a long story short. Any Braids recommends that you don't use any products on your hair, so no lotions, no conditioners, no oils especially. She does say that it's fine to spritz your scalp with rose water, and I guess that helps to combat dryness. I personally have not done any of that. I have not spritzed my hair once with anything. I don't think I've ever experienced this level of hair freedom. Like it's amazing. I literally wake up in the morning, shake my hair and go. The only thing I do is I will put on a satin bonnet to go to sleep at night. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I haven't experienced any itchiness, any dry scalp, excessive dandruff or anything. And I say excessive because I noticed that like when I like scratch my scalp really rigorously, the like white flakes will come out and it could sometimes look like sand. I'm not particularly precious. I'm not worried about lint getting in my hair or anything. Like one of the reasons why I really wanted to get this hairstyle was because I wanted to have ultimate hair freedom. I was tired of being a slave to regimens and products and all of that stuff that comes with my natural hair journey. I just wanted to have really like wake up and go hair, and I've been loving it. I had my first retie at 4 weeks because that's something else that Any Braids recommends. Got that done at Just You Salon in Enfield. I think they're certified Sisterlocks technicians if I'm not mistaken. I had actually reached out to them back in 2019, 2020 when I was initially looking to install my locks here. They were so lovely, really, really professional, nice people. My retie with them took just under 3 hours and it cost 80 pounds. So maintaining my locks here is more than what my installation in Nigeria cost, or pretty much the same. So yeah, that's fun. Traveling with Microlocs. This was probably the one aspect of my hairstyle that has brought me a little bit of frustration. I went to Mexico and when my hair was between 4 and 6 weeks. According to the maintenance instructions that we got from Any Braids, you're not supposed to wet your hair for the first 10 weeks, as in fully immerse your hair for the first 10 weeks. That meant for me no swimming, no water sports, no nothing, which obviously is a bit frustrating, especially when this is my first like proper holiday in years. I thought that I'd be able to get away with like braiding and banding my hair, but when I got to Just You for my retie, I asked my technician and she was literally like, I highly don't recommend it. She said if I really want to, I could braid and band my hair and put on a swimming cap, but that takes out all the fun of it, right? So I just didn't do any swimming, and honestly it was okay. I kind of realized that I'm a lay by the beach girl as opposed to get in the ocean girl anyway, so I was fine. My next retie appointment is in a few weeks, and by that time I can finally have my hair washed. I'm really looking forward to that. I don't feel like my hair feels like dirty or like I really need to wash it, but I'm looking forward to like just having water on my scalp again, you know? Alright, so I filmed some up close videos. I realized that the lighting is like all over the place, but it's winter in the UK and we literally have very short days, so hopefully this is better. This is my second time filming this video because the first time the lighting was so bad, so hopefully the lighting is a bit better and you can at least see my hair, because in the first video you couldn't even see my hair and I just felt like, why am I filming a hair video and you can't even see my hair? So hopefully it's a bit better in this one. I've covered everything I wanted to in this video. I hope this was useful. If you have any questions or comments, definitely let me know. I am only 2 months into this, so I don't really have much advice to give, but I think I might check in on a semi-regular basis to update you guys on my Microlocs if you're interested. But to be honest, I don't really have any interest in like being like a hair channel. There's so many people on YouTube that could do that way better than I ever could. But unless you have any specific questions, then obviously leave them down below and we can like talk in the comments. That's it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure you give this video a thumbs up and share it with someone. Consider subscribing to my channel, and I will see you guys in my next upload. Stay blessed, stay safe, and take care. Bye.